Hello, this is Pang from LabVIEW by Example. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I'm going to give you a tour of the Getting Started window of the LabVIEW 2017 development environment. So in my last video, I installed National Instruments LabVIEW 2017 onto my computer. You can always launch it from the shortcut or using the Windows menu. So if I go ahead and do that, first thing that opens for me is an evaluation mode LabVIEW licensing wizard. So I'm still in evaluation, so you may not see this when you launch your copy. So I'm just going to hit evaluate and continue with my evaluation. Splash screen appears, and then we are at the Getting Started screen. From the Getting Started screen, you can find a boatload of stuff, and you can do a bunch of things on here, and it gives you a lot of information too. So let's break it down, and let's start from the bottom and work our way up. So at the very bottom, you'll get a news feed of articles from the NI blog. You can keep up to date on the latest and greatest from NI every time you launch LabVIEW. So you see these scrolling articles. To go directly to the blog, just click on it, and you'll find out what NI has been posting in past days or months. Okay, right above this banner, you'll find a section for doing some common things that you may need from NI or from documentation on your computer. So on the left link here, you have Find Drivers and Add-ons. Clicking on that will give you another pop-up that will either open up your browser for certain sites on ni.com. So if I hit this guy here, this will take you to the drivers page. Okay, so these drivers are the VIs or DLLs or any other libraries that you need to talk to various instruments or hardware that you're connected to, and you want to write LabVIEW code to control and measure from. Connect to instruments. Use the NI instrument driver finder to install drivers for connected instruments, and also a link to find add-ons. I think this is another link to ni.com. So in addition to just the base LabVIEW, you can add a bunch of toolkits and add-ons and things that you basically don't want to write yourself, and you just want to borrow, copy, steal, buy from somebody else that's solved your problem. So you can drill down using these menu links here. Okay, let's close this. So in the middle, you have a link to all the discussion forums, another ni.com link. More community pages as well, and you can request your support from NI if you need even more help, depending on what your level, what you've paid for. Basically, you can get free support, or you'll have to pay out of pocket for one-on-one and telephone and email support with somebody at NI. So on the last one, you have links to more tutorials, information about what's new in LabVIEW, and links to upgrading to 2017, which I already have 2017, but I think this is just a generic pop-up that shows up in every version of LabVIEW. So close that. So moving along above this section, I have a big O section with one button that says create a project. So I'm pretty sure, and I purposely made this button stand out from the rest so that you'll want to create projects for all of your LabVIEW work. So a LabVIEW project groups together LabVIEW files and other non-LabVIEW files, so you can manage and organize your files as you develop. LabVIEW projects also provide a bunch of other perks, such as keeping names separate, allowing you to configure how you deploy, how you specify how you build, such things like executables in libraries, DLLs, and you can also specify where your LabVIEW code needs to be run on. Usually, or in my videos, it's all PC, but you can point it to an embedded device or an FPGA. LabVIEW projects have always been in existence. They were introduced in LabVIEW 8.0 about 10 years ago. So back in those days, all your files had to be organized on the file system, and you were the one to keep a lot of things in order. And you do that outside of the LabVIEW development environment. So it was like driving without GPS, if you want to think of it that way. So today we're much better off with using LabVIEW projects. If I click on the Create Project button, you're going to get a window where you can create a blank project, a blank VI, and VI stands for Virtual Instruments, and that's the file that contains your super awesome LabVIEW code. So in addition, in these latest versions of LabVIEW, you'll find templates that you can start from as well. These templates create a LabVIEW project in addition to the VIs that form the skeleton for that design. So the idea is that after the template is auto-generated, you'll add in your code to get where you want to go. And then finally, there are some sample projects that you can look at. You can use the navigation on the left to filter what you want to see. So I just want to see templates. I just want to see the sample projects. So some of the results on the right pane have links for more information to see what all these concepts mean. I'm not going to go through these right now, maybe in a future video. So if I hit that, I'll talk to you about what a simple state machine is. Okay, let's cancel out of this. Back to the getting started window. Okay, so to the right of the Create Project section, you have an Open Existing button at the top of this section here, which is a list of all the existing or recent files that you had open before. You can use this drop down to filter out what the different types of files that you had opened previously. So I haven't had any projects, so it's all VIs right now. Okay, moving toward the top right, you'll have what NI calls an quote-unquote application-wide search. That's pretty cool. Where you'll get results from the help system or ni.com. So let's just try this out. If I enter the word projects, I do get results. If I click on one of these here, this will open the native LabVIEW help system on your machine. And then if I hit on here, I can hit on search. Yeah. It'll take me to various sites and pages in ni.com. Okay. So now let's take a look at the menu of the Getting Started window. So the furthest left item is File, and underneath this you've got menu items to create a new VI, create a new something, open something, and doing a new VI will just create a VI for you right off the bat. But if I close this out, I'll go back to the Getting Started window. Selecting new ... will give me a window to create a bunch of different files. Use the left pane to navigate to the types of VIs that you want to create. So for you that are just starting out, you want to just create probably a blank VI or even something from a template. Under the project folder, you can create that empty project, and then in the other files folder, you can create other LabVIEW files such as classes, custom controls, and menus, which I can definitely get into in future videos. Okay, if I cancel on this. And if it hit open, this will just open up a file dialog where I can just look for those VIs on my computer. Okay, the next section on the file allows me to create a project, which opens up the same window that we saw before. And then if you hit open, you can browse using the file explorer to find any files with the LVPROJ extension, LVPROJ for short. And then the last few sections, you have recent files. You can quickly open up any VIs or projects from this submenu, and then the ability to exit. So as you get more used to LabVIEW, you'll want to keep keyboard shortcuts somewhere stored in that brain of yours so that you can get things done much quicker. So you'll find that NI drops a bunch of hints all over. You just have to take note. So for example, on the Getting Started window, you can create a new VI with Control N, open, Control O, and then quit or exit, Control Q. All right. The next section, operate. You've got the ability to connect to a remote panel. So that first item gets you the semi-cool ability to connect to LabVIEW code running on a server in some far off remote location. So you supply the server address, what VI you want to run, and then you're able to control that VI remotely. The second item is the ability to debug debug an application or shared library. With this, um, you are able to do some debugging despite the fact that you've compiled into an exe or DLL, and you have to make sure you have special options set up whenever you build that. But you have that option here. So these are nice to have features, but not things you'll do day to day, especially for beginners. So I'll save going through these for another video. Moving on to tools, we've got Measurement and Automation Explorer, also known as Max, M-A-X. So Max is a separate NI app that handles all the setup of test and measurement hardware connected to your system. So the menu click is basically just a shortcut to that app. Let's go ahead and try that. It's a little sneaky, being that it just opens up this other application. You see LabVIEW still running in the background, but it is what it is. So the next menu item deals with getting drivers for the hardware. You can find instrument drivers. I think these just take you back to ni.com. You have a wizard to create your own instrument drivers. You can look at how to create your drivers with these guidelines, and there's other resources that will help you, and more links back to ni.com. All right, let's take a look at the next section, merge, which gives you the ability to merge code from two VIs or LLBs. And LLBs are files that house several VIs under one roof, forming a self-contained LabVIEW library. So if you take a look at one of these, you specify the base VI and the other VI that you want to merge, and then it'll supposedly merge these two and magically have a nice working VI with all the changes between these two merged. Doesn't work so well in my experience. What I found was that finding the difference between LabVIEW code isn't pretty, and the tools that NI offers often don't get you what you expect. So I haven't used merge before, but I would imagine that it would suck. So I'll take a look at this more in depth in another video probably. So what we've got next is security and username. So in all the years using LabVIEW, I've never used these features, so I can't say too much about them. So I would assume that you could use these to log in and lock out certain aspects of the LabVIEW development environment or parts of your custom application, which would be nice. So I'll keep these in the back of my mind as a topic for another video. Moving along, you have source control. Here's where you can set up LabVIEW so that you can do source control stuff like checkout, check in directly in the LabVIEW development environment rather than switching back and forth between LabVIEW and the other provider. LabVIEW supports the popular ones such as Perforce, ClearCase Synergy. This feature is definitely a candidate for another video. The next section under tools deals with putting together an LLB. By the way, LLBs is this old school method. Nowadays, a lot of people like using LibS, LV libs for short. So that's something that you want to keep in the back of mind. The import submenu allows you to import functionality from libraries and other technologies such as .NET, ActiveX, from DLLs or web services. After that, there's an item to set up a connection to shared variables. So in LabVIEW speak, shared variables are data structures that NI claims are easy to share across network computers and devices. The final item is this section. In this section pops up a separate application where you can connect to network computers or devices to access these shared variables. So if I click on that, and this is what I see. I haven't used this too much. I haven't used shared variables too much, so I don't really know too much about shared variables, but these are even advanced for me. So we'll maybe take a look at these in later videos. Okay, after that section, you have another section here where you'll find some submenus for any tools or add-ons that you've installed. So this may look different from what I have here. Apparently I have fuzzy logic tools and fancy configuration for that. So I have to dig into the documentation and play around with it to wrap my head around it. But the main point is that you now know where in the menu to find any configuration screens for any LabVIEW add-ons that you have installed. And then if you need any other super fantastic add-on, so there's a menu item just for that right here. Find LabVIEW add-ons, and they'll kick you right back to NI. If you're sick of getting shot like a cannonball to NI, use the next item, the VI Package Manager, which is from the JKI company, which is a highly respected LabVIEW team out in California. VIPM for short is a separate app where you can browse for LabVIEW add-ons and with a few clicks have them installed on your machine where they need to be. So the cool thing is that it'll manage the different versions for you. It's pretty useful, and it shows that NI was willing to put this non-NI tool straight into the LabVIEW environment itself. Okay, I won't go into the advanced submenu, which may go into an quote unquote advanced, or what what I'll call a black magic video series. Finally, you got an options menu item where you can set up things like fonts, search paths, how controls and indicators look when you drop them on the front panel, and how wires behave on the block diagram. So I can do a video on the options if there's a lot of interest. Just let me know. As far as the help menu goes, everything under there is pretty self-explanatory. Just beware some of those menu items catapult you back to ni.com again. So shortcuts you'll want to remember is Control H to bring up the context menu as you're programming and you're wondering what certain built-in functions do. Okay, that's it. I hope you've gotten some more insight into what the LabVIEW Getting Started window gets you. I think this is a good place to stop for now until the next video. Thanks for watching. Comment below and see you next time.